Oh. 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 Oh.
Charles and I settled here in the booth. This should be a fun one. Madden Ultimate Team matchup as you get a look at some of the stars here of today's game. Let's get right to it. The kicker, Dustin Hopkins, set to get this one going. And here we go. We're underway in Madden Ultimate Team. On the return, the old reliable Devin Hester, the veteran. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now a first down, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Roughing the pass here, but Charles, that's a good call. But these days, you know quarterbacks, they're very protected.
We know how protected they are, and if it's anything borderline, they're going to get the call. But as a defender, that's hard to swallow sometimes because there's so many of these bang-bang plays.
On 1st and 10, Newton. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. He won't go down. And he'll take it down deep into Tennessee territory. A big gain there on the first play of the game. And even 40 yards. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids.
And he will take it in for the touchdown. Doug Baldwin from 6 yards away. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead.
It's never any fun, Brandon, when you're the defensive team and the first drive of the game, you give up a touchdown. The key is not to get down. Make those adjustments and come back for your next series with the intent of shutting them down.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here's Cooks on the return. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that kind of run on 1st down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Now Simeon. Complete to Jason Witten. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a 1st down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's not always as straight as that team wanted it more than the other, but on that play, it actually was true. They were faster to the ball.
Simeon, he's going to air one out. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down.
I guarantee every coach wants to go for it on 4th and 1 in this spot. But so few of them have the guts to do it in their own territory. But he puts his faith in his offensive line, and they're able to pick up the first.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. With the former Volunteer Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Titans with a football here to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. And the seemingly endless drive continues. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to go for a big play. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. They give him a gain of 37.
So let's go ahead and add to the difficulties of guys trying to cover receivers. They got to deal with speed, shiftiness, all that stuff. But how about when they have height and length and deep downfield? You throw the ball up in the air. That's how they uncover at the end of a route, by being able to go up over the top.
And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying this thing up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack, but that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. Newton on first down. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. Call it a 1-yard gain of the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, Everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game. I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. On first down, it's Newton. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Throwing again is Newton. And that one his first incompletion in his last 6 passes. And it's third down.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner, and usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. And whistle blown, a timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
This challenge was initiated by the guys in New York. Taking a look at the play, less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm sure the coach wanted to challenge it, so he's probably going to send the New York office a holiday card. Now Newton on first down. And this is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And that one results in 35 yards.
The quarterback often has a lot of really good friends on offense to help him do his job. But one of his best friends is anyone who can catch the ball and create yardage after the catch. That run after the catch, the rack, and the ability to break a tackle and make a big play, as we just saw there, the quarterback is very friendly with that guy.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback...
And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Bryant, the lone receiver, left. Here's Newton now on second down. Dumps it complete to Miller. Now another timeout here called by the Titans. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Big play here. 3rd down and goal from the 2. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Lamar Miller taking it in from 2 yards out. And his guys are able to strike for 6. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
This will be fielded at the 8. And an alley to run. Touchdown, Titans. Will Fuller, 92 yards. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying this thing up. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs, as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Here's Newton. He hits Baldwin right side. 15 yards through the air and a first down. And quickly they get to the line. They go play action here on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. They'll get 19 yards there. And that'll be good enough for the first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Greg Olsen was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well. Every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. But get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
To the air again, Newton. And it's caught. Touchdown. Doug Baldwin with his second touchdown here in this first half. And his guys are going to take the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out come the Titans now. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Going up top. And incomplete. An excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But second down instead.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They'll come out in the pistol. Now Simeon. Flushed out right. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you over to our headquarters in Orlando, where we check in with Larry Ridley for our EA Sports Halftime Report. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. One man in the backfield, Elliott. Simeon going right side. He has Winton. And he's brought down. 13 yards there on the pickup. And it'll give the Titans a first down.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, You're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. A dump off to Elliott. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Their big-bodied receiver high in the air to bring it in. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying this thing up. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. A look at the offense now here coming back out on the road for their first possession of the 2nd half. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the 2nd half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Gotta wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
Miller, the lone setback. On first down, it's Newton. And the tight end Olsen, right side. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think they were looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, the flat-out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And they're going to speed things up here.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Play action. It's Newton. Left side here, caught by Clay. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out.
Get the fuck out of here, really?
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Back now here on EA Sports. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. So the offense avoids disaster, keeps possession. Now it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Newton. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Third and long, it's Newton. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Greg Olsen, 29 yards. And his guys are going to take the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roll through them or around them to get into the face of the pass.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Simeon. He's going to air one out. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on 3rd down. So the D-line's going to spread out. Simeon. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And a great spot to start this drive from here. One receiver left, 2 to the right. Now Newton. Jackson's got it over the middle. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
So often you hear defensive coaches talk about we need all 11 on every play in order to be a good run-stopping unit. And sometimes it starts to sound a little cliche. But did you see the free safety on that play? Knifing through and running down the ball carrier. A huge, huge play. And when you have a free safety who can run like that, you've got to turn him loose.
Now a quick give to the fullback, Marcel Reese. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards.
What you gonna do? You can have it. I ain't got time for this shit. Come on.
Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis ready for this Madden Ultimate Team matchup as you get a peek at some of the big players in today's game, and you're a big player in today's game as well. Let's get the party started. The kicker, Dustin Hopkins, set to get this one going. And off we go in Madden Ultimate Team. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And the Titans are going to have a first. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes...
Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And his first pass is incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. And that'll bring up second down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. His throw incomplete.
Well, Brandon, all receivers are trying to make sure that the defender thinks they're going to the middle of the field when they're running the outcut. On that play, didn't get it done very well because that one was batted down.
So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. A good pickup there at 22. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 1st down, Rodgers finding time. Looking sideline, incomplete. Second down following the incompletion. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, that's the type of pass play that you need to wait for routes to develop. You need...
All right, nigga. Ain't nothing to talk about.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to give me shit, boy.
Say, when I had cut the game on for the first time before, I had so much shit popping through my thing. They gave me like a, nigga, they gave me a fucking shitload of contracts and packs. Cause I guess when you upgrade your team.
Yeah, it's getting like your team is over 80.
Yeah, dude, they did it. Dude, I had about 31 packs, And they did it all the way from my team was a 72 all the way to 88. I mean 87.
Rodgers again now. And he finds a man. It's Olsen.
Man, how they do hold on to
And
the
he gets
fucking
it to
ball?
the 32. Good enough for a first down.
You got the
So
same
they're on
dude.
that play
You
offensively.
third
They were
on
in
the
the
depth
crossing
chart.
route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have
2 for 6
discipline
right
in order
now.
to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way.
Hey,
Make sure
come
you
on, boy,
have
that's
it.
Rose over
And
there. I don't
then
know where
when
you
the
keep trying
ball's
to throw over
actually
there for.
thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on
That's
crossing
Rose
routes
over
and
there,
you miss
boy.
a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
No. I ain't pressing him.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here's Rodgers. And a hit
there you
jarred
go, nigga.
loose. It's incomplete.
That's Rose. Well, I don't know what you keep trying to prove over there.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on third down.
Okay.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And
No
that
good.
will be incomplete as well.
Yes, sir. I see you. You stepped out of bounds. You to the good. Okay.
Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. There'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one is right down the middle. And that'll make it 3-0 here in the first. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
Told you, nigga.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
What's
And
the
they'll
sweat
start
in
in
it?
a hole here as he's brought down at the 11.
I got a good nose.
You didn't update your roster before you came in, did you?
Yeah, see, I just went straight through the...
Yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still on an attack. We'll see.
Man, dude, how
they
does this nigga
attack
keep
him
dropping
here.
the football?
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
Muhammad.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Now Simeon going right side. He has Winton. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
They'll come out in the pistol. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott.
What is
and
he
he's
doing?
going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's
Go
4th
for it.
down.
And partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage to make sure they take
Because
away
you want
all
donations
spaces,
down. You want
all
donations
creases.
down at the end of the
That
field,
one worked
baby.
really well for them.
Now only needed a yard, instead went backwards.
A funky pal lips say anything. What do you mean? Nigga, I'm not finna give you this ball down here, nigga.
And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead.
What do you want to do? What you better not do?
They're hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I know what you better not do.
I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. Rodgers now on first down.
And the tight end
Olsen, right side. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it a second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game.
So second and medium, 2nd and 5 now. On second down, here's Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
He wouldn't open that
second down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. Charles the low setback. Now Rodgers backing up. Then he's got the completion to Hopkins.
I'm hitting I'm hitting him before you even get the ball. How did he hold on to the ball?
Number 1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
Now it's the Chiefs' all-time leading rusher. It's Jamal Charles on the carry. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball.
Chris, boy.
When that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation.
I didn't have a contain for the one play. Because I've been containing you.
Bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket. Got to the sticks
I know you get the more
and picked up
booming
the first
uniform
down.
thing, man.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Rodgers going to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a second down. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the
top,
time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
Rodgers to throw on second down. That is caught inside the 5. And he will take this one in for a touchdown.
The one guy that's supposed to be sitting underneath from that route with the 2 pinks, he is not there.
And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
I don't know why they keep shading over that to their knee.
It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Oh, and you just can't do that. 15 yards on the roughing the kicker call.
Absolutely inexcusable. The kicker's in a defenseless position, and he just gets taken out.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up. Let's go. Because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Call it a gain of 5.
No, that's
it. Make it second down.
No, they ain't. That's what's the name?
When they see slant routes thrown, the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Drops it underneath to
Get
Elliott. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. So a minute 55
I can see where you pick it. It's in your backyard.
We're back to Houston after this timeout.
Do it
Looks like the
again.
defense in press coverage here. Now Simeon.
You throw the damn ball, dude. You have to open. Let me see what it says. If I run this one, what?
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right.
What?
Simeon steps away to his left. The catch made by DeAndre
That's D-Hop,
Hopkins. You call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
They'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Man, I don't know what that nigga doing over there to the side, man. But that nigga supposed to be holding on there, man.
And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
Let me see. Okay, I know what I do now. We do that, man.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down.
Man, throw the damn ball away. I got 5 dudes. You rushing 4.
Coming in from his outside linebacker spot. He buries him for a loss of 10 or 11. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dive. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's going to sling this deep downfield, and that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in.
One-handed.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen that they can get that far down to complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep in the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
It's a gain of 7.
I had to go back and get that, man. I don't know what the hell I did to do
It's
it.
awfully tough on a defense when he's able to move outside the pocket and still keep his eyes downfield looking for open targets. You don't know whether to attack him or lay back and try and defend the pass. I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick.
I forgot what
but
you
able
did.
to see
You
it,
had a little,
diagnose
you in a
it,
mini
and get to
zone
the
in the end
football.
zone, so
That's why he was
I
able
know how
to
to
bat
get
it
through
The
away.
line of scrimmage is the 3 as they look to cash in on 3rd and goal. Again, he'll drop to throw. That's caught at the 1.
Come on, what
and
the
he'll be
hell?
brought down right on the edge of the goal line at
4th
about the
goal.
1-yard line. Now,
No,
hold
I don't
everything
want
here.
to.
We're going to get a timeout by the offense.
We're going for 7.
It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
We're going for 7, man. The hell he talking about?
The
3.
offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal
bunching
from
up, huh?
the 1. Back to throw again. And he will score. Touchdown.
Yes, it is.
DeAndre Hopkins in the final seconds of the first half. And the Titans have made this a
that was a touchdown.
one-score game.
Yeah.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. And they're back within a field goal. It's 10-7 now.
Oh, my God. Here we go. Let's see who this is. He caught the ball on that side of the field. No, I did.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off.
What the fuck?
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and
Okay,
taken.
I'm to the good
Now
now.
this offense ready to head back out there. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. A final shot before half for Rodgers. He's going to let this one go deep. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And he will be... And apparently that's all, Larry. So much for the halftime
over there, huh?
Post-game. We're ready to get to the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
What do you keep waiting for? Run that shit.
And taken successfully. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be a second down. And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down. Now Rodgers throwing on second down.
There you go.
And the Titans able to bring him down. Jarrell Casey in there to bury him for a loss of 11. And now they're in the hurry-up. And the back goes into motion.
Whoa.
On third and long, it's Rodgers. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that brings up fourth down. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a...
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's what I'm talking about, man. Ooh. Yeah, man, yeah. I should have reset this motherfucker.
I do that shit every time. Like, if you send me an invite, I'm resetting my shit before I come in.
Well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They do go for it. It's Rodgers. He sets to fire deep. And it is incomplete. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, somewhat it doesn't pay off. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. They come out 5 wide, 3 to the right side. Now Simeon. Flush to his right. Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, when you have a player who could do that, that just makes your offense that much more dangerous. Being able to get outside the pocket, yet still keeping his eyes downfield and finding open receivers.
Eluding the pressure right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Khalil Mack. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Again, it's Charles. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And that's a nice pickup on first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
A first down carry here for Charles. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
Ain't that what he was so-called doing?
Facing zone coverage, if he has just a
Ain't
little
that what
bit
he
of
was
time to
so-called
survey
doing?
the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Throwing is Rodgers. The left side completion to Jones. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Who is that? Who?
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. This complete to Jones. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line.
Come on with it, Jenkins.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
It's a pickup of 21, and it's good enough for a first down. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. A dump off for Charles. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line.
Just watching what you do.
And it'll be 2nd and about a yard. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game. Rodgers again now. Going underneath for Charles. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Jamal Charles from 8 yards out. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will
that's a
kick
deep
it
threat,
away.
nigga. Chain mover, nigga.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
What is that swiping? What are you doing with the swiping?
17-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the
mosquitoes
field.
out there or what?
And they had a nice little drive going last time.
Mosquitoes out there?
Interception in the red zone. Costly.
You're not going to
They'd
kick
love to throw
Fuller.
it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? And the tip
Nigga, I just got him a minute ago, so what does that mean? As a matter of fact, he stole the one-hand touchdown on me. Oh.
10 yards still left on 2nd down.
Okay. 2. Plus 1.
Simeon. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I don't know what the hell.
Coming hard that time. He's able to run
These
it down
niggas is
for
not
a
blocking,
loss of
man.
12. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw.
Get the fuck out of here.
A third time. Picked up by Morgan Burnett. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
This
He had the
offense
goddamn
ready
ball.
to take over again. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter punch,
Nigga,
isn't
he
it?
caught the
And
ball.
which
How
team
is that
has the
him?
advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the...
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by
Who
Kamal
is it?
Ishmael.
Ishmael, boy.
Turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
That nigga stole that whole. Nigga, who?
They come out
Nigga,
wide.
that's the
Three of them to
Denver
the right
Broncos
side.
fire.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. On the run. And got his man. Complete. And he will finally be taken down.
We're
But
going
not
yard,
before he
nigga.
reaches
Yard
the
of him.
38.
Yard to go home.
Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred. Still confident to go.
Gotta bag them niggas up.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong,
Gotta
you
bag
still
them
have
niggas
to know
up.
you're the best player out on the field. You still
Bag
carry
them
that
up.
supreme
Yard to
arrogance
go
with
home,
you
boy.
and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Look at that Simeon, boy. I'm telling you.
A nice pick
Milestone
up 14,
Simeon,
and it
boy.
moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head.
That's serious, nigga. Get off of me.
Zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Des Bryant from 4 yards out.
Yeah,
And the
who
Titans
won?
are able to
Who
make
won?
this a close game again.
No, I'm kicking.
So they
I'm
fought
kicking.
half the battle here, but they're still down.
Plenty of work still left
Man,
for
what's
them.
he gonna do?
but
He
they
gonna play the
delivered
clock?
First step in their comeback attempt.
You gonna play the clock like the sucker bunnies, huh? Let's see if you gonna play the clock. Yeah.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it
What's
away.
up with the cutthroat to do? Nigga, quit waving. Run that shit.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And the
Nigga, I'm
interception.
finna rob this nigga. We're gonna rob Aaron Rodgers one more time, nigga. Nigga, that's Simeon out there, nigga, chunking deuces, nigga.
I'm gonna let you know how that turned out in a minute.
Oh, you ready, huh?
Thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can
Oh, you
rebound.
got a little Tavion back
I
there
have to
kicking
think the
kickoff,
last thing
huh?
he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end
Whoa,
zone that it's
what the
supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football.
Man, I try to
and
switch
everything else
off of
should
that
flow from
man.
there.
Quick lesson.
And how they make me move the man.
Guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And he'll be hit
Get it.
as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Again?
Getting late here in the 4th, and if this team has any chance to win this football game, their defense obviously needs a stop here. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. The left side completion to Jones. Touchdown! Julio Jones.
You run that same play. I'm gonna find a play for it, boy.
Find a way to stretch that lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Titans getting set to go. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you
What the fuck was
scoreboard
that?
watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Now Simeon. Hopkins on the ground.
What did you hit that man for? He was on the ground already.
And that's going to bring up a third down. Time for a break.
Who?
We're back to finish this one off after this.
Oh.
And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. They're in a good spot. 2-possession game barely, but a 2-possession game here late. Now they just have to put this game on ice.
Let's face it, right now, they're talking about ball security, taking care of it, not allowing
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jarrell Casey in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Yeah.
Rodgers throwing here. Looking deep downfield. He's got a man complete. 20, 10, 5, and all the way.
Man, ain't no fucking way, dude. This dude is on this man.
DeAndre Hopkins, 83
I'm not
yards.
pressing.
And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And last year that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here."
He's not letting it go.
Some other time, but some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Surveying the field. Now this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the
That's
screen.
dude.
But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover.
You hitting my man before he's dropping, before he can even try to get the ball.
They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
That's Simeon, boy.
Touchdown, Titans. Their dangerous wide receiver.
Look at that Simeon, boy. Put it on the butter,
And the
nigga.
Titans are able to cut into that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over.
Simeon was business, boy.
I agree with you totally on that one.
I gave old boy the business, too. I fucked around and kept missing extra points, man, because I don't know what's up with that dude's connection. Every time I try to kick the damn kick, I couldn't even kick it. Yeah. Say, hey, boy, hey, dude, that dude, boy, that dude, look at I tell you, I gotta feel sorry for because he was like, man, come on, man, y'all gotta play football.
And they hope it'll be that easy,
I was laughing.
right? Take exactly what happened before, replicate
he said, come on, y'all gotta start playing some football.
Because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but it
Cause
great confidence.
Yeah, he talking to G. I said, man, hold up. So I just started throwing the ball. It was the mouse show. I mean, well, it was the DeAndre Hopkins. He said, man, how if you keep catching this thing with one hand?
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They come up in an
But
empty
see,
set, 4 wide receivers, 1
I
tight
mean,
end.
he ended up coming back, dude. I had to damn that tackle to do that at the 1 yard line.
Looking to throw.
There you go.
And he's
Put
gonna
a
be
helmet on the
right
nigga chest.
down.
I'm gonna take a time out.
And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
That mumble jumble.
Back to throw, Rodgers. He's going to launch this thing way downfield.
What the fuck is that?
Now the defense loses him. It's complete. And touchdown.
Dude, what the hell was that?
Fuller, 84 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch
Dude,
that
there was
lead.
nobody near this
And
end.
to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've
No,
got to go to
I'm
the
just
right
diving
point.
at the
that
ball.
didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the
We got
playbook you
the
haven't called in a
preview
while, or
right
you
there.
call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door. And maybe.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And
Oh, I
his
got
crew
the-
will take
I got
over
the
the
same
football
one.
at the 35-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always, hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through.
Who?
So 2nd and 10 here.
Who? The fastest dude I got on my team is he's a 91 that Marcus Peters.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And the Titan
We'll
defense
take that nigga
steps
to
up
the
here,
dirt.
and down he goes. Now whistles
I don't know what
come
you're looking
in.
for
We're gonna get a
downfield, boy, but
timeout
them
here
niggas running
by
with
the
you.
offense. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And barring something unforeseen, this will be the last play of the game.
A nickel set shown by the Titans on 3rd down.
They can pass. On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He's going to look deep down the field. And it's incomplete.
boy.
But still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So that'll do it for Charles Davis, the rest of our crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long, everybody.